You disgraceful excuse for a person. You've truly brought shame to the Layvale family. Your mother, who bore you, was nothing but a stain on this family's legacy, and you don't even deserve to stand here.
The harsh, mocking laughter echoed in your ears, as if each word were tearing at your nerves. These cruel voices echo in your mind, chaotic, disordered, sharp. You are Kyle Layvale, the illegitimate son born from your father's exploitation of the Lord's right to the first night. You were ripped from the modern world and thrown into this magical realm, inhabiting the body of a worthless noble in the Layvale family. At first, you were confused by the reason for your arrival, but now, the venomous words make it clear. You are nothing but the most insignificant existence in this world. You lower your gaze to your hands, though you've grown accustomed to this body. Every time you hear these insults, a surge of anger rises within you. You were once an ordinary modern person, suddenly thrust into this magical world, and now, you're forced to bear the identity of a failure. You stand in a dilapidated hut, the air thick with dampness and the scent of grass and wood. This was once the home of your family's former servants, the farmer who lived in hardship under the oppressive rule of your family's steward. You clearly remember how you used to secretly help them, especially when the steward and his men came to harass their beautiful daughter, Alicia. You would always step in to stop them. Back then, you believed you were someone with a sense of responsibility. But now, you sit helplessly here, enduring the humiliation.
Young master, are you okay? Would you like me to make you some porridge?
Alicia rushes over, her face filled with concern. She was your playmate as a child, and has now grown into a beautiful girl. You gently shake your head, signaling her not to worry. But as you look into her eyes, filled with hidden worrying, a complex wave of emotion stirs within you. Though exhausted in body and mind, you still feel the urge to protect her. She and her father are the only ones who've reached out to help you in your time of helplessness. However, this feeling is interrupted by a sudden loud bang. Heavy footsteps approach from outside, and the towering figure of Steward Herman appears in the doorway. His cold expression bears a barely perceptible maliciousness as he loudly announces,
My dear slave Walter, your daughter Alicia has turned 16, and it's time for the Lord's first night rite. I'll take her to the Lord's bed to bring glory to your family. Truly, what a blessing!
Alicia's face instantly drains of color, her eyes filled with terror and helplessness, as if the world itself is collapsing before her. You look at her in agony, your heart full of guilt and powerlessness. Once, you had done so much for her, protecting her from the steward and others' harassment. But now, you can only helplessly watch as she is forced to face such humiliation. Herman's grim eyes scan you, the corner of his mouth lifting into a slight sneer.
Kyle, you're still the same. How disappointing!
He strides in, his eyes filled with contempt and disdain.
I have some good news for you. Your despicable mother is dead.
This sentence strikes your heart like a thunderclap. Anger, shame, and helplessness mix together and surge in your chest. You want to resist, but you find you lack the strength to even utter a sound. You try to calm yourself, but it's clear Herman has no intention of stopping. He seems oblivious to your emotions, still grinning cruelly.
Back then, your wretched mother conceived you while exercising the first night rite with the Lord. And for all those years, things seemed good for her. But who would have thought that, even though you carry the Layvale family bloodline, your magical energy is so low, at 16, you don't even qualify as an apprentice wizard. How dare you call yourself a noble? You're nothing but a joke, unworthy of even the privilege of having the title.
Each of his words feels like an icy needle stabbing into your heart. You once dreamed of changing your fate, but now you are just seen as a failure, trampled by others. Your anger begins to swell in your chest, and your eyes fill with murderous intent. Finally, you can no longer contain yourself and roar.
Enough! You don't deserve to say these things.
A flash of contempt crosses Herman's face, and his mocking laughter grows darker, filled with obvious malice.
Do you think you can change anything? You're just a waste. Your magic can never compare to the glory of your family. You're a failure, forever beneath my feet and the feet of others.
He pauses, casting a cold glance at Alicia and showing a disgusting grin.
You think the first night rite is dishonorable? Well, it's a tradition of the Layvale family, and there's no choice. You should pray that you end up like Kyle's mother, giving birth to the Lord's child.
Alicia's hands tightly clutch her sleeves, her eyes filled with pain and helplessness. Your anger nearly consumes you, and you stand up, ready to charge at the greedy steward. But just as you prepare to rush forward, Herman suddenly mutters a spell.
Fire!
A burst of roaring flames shoots out of his hand, directly at you. Your heart races, and you have no time to react, but your body seems to respond instinctively. You quickly shout.
Water!
A powerful jet of water appears out of nowhere, dousing the flames slightly. However, the thick steam fills the air, weighing your body down and blurring your vision. You realize that this is a sign of insufficient magical energy.
With this level of power, you dare to resist?
Herman sneers, adding more insult.
I can't stand watching you waste the family's resources.
You are enraged, trembling with fury. Grabbing a knife nearby, you prepare to fight back. Just then, a steady voice rings out from outside.
Stop!
The command is like thunder, deafening you to everything else. You turn around to see a tall, powerful man enter. He wears an ancient magical hat, and his presence freezes the entire room, as if even the air has come to a halt. His gaze is sharp as a blade, and his deep eyes are filled with an undeniable authority.